Hi, today guys we're going to be looking at the Westminster Effects Chrysostom Chorus pedal. It's a great little chorus vibrato and I can't wait to show you a little bit about it. Today we're going to be using this Fender American Deluxe V-neck Strat as well as a Fender Supersonic on the bassman setting. I've added some reverb through a Boss RV5 just to make it a little bit more. Alright, so let's listen to our clean tone quick. Let's turn on the pedal. Everything's at 12 o'clock and it's on the low voice setting. We'll explain a little bit more about that later. That's pretty subtle. It's nice that you can really feel the effect. Let me go ahead and raise the depth up a bit to 3 o'clock and we'll see how that affects the signal. It's really pulsing at that point, isn't it? You can really hear it coming through. Now let's bring it the other way. Let's bring the depth down to a 9 o'clock setting and see how that comes in. Something a little more subtle. Now the advantage of that kind of setting is that it can be always on, adding a little bit of color or flavor to what you're doing. Let's do that again, but now we're going to put the depth at 12 o'clock and play with the speed setting and see how that comes across. So now I'm going to put the depth at 12 o'clock and the speed's going to be at 9 o'clock. We'll start the other way now. So it's going to be a slower speed. The mix of the dry and the wet signal together really is nice. It's still subtle enough that you can keep it on all the time if you really want that kind of sound. Well, let's do something a little bit different. This pedal can get really weird in a good way. Let's put it up to 3 o'clock on the speed and keep the depth up at 12 o'clock. Again, it's moving so quick it's almost beginning to mix of this dry and ring modulator thing in the background. How about we try going the high voice setting now and hear how much of the difference that makes. So again, just to help your ears out, we're going to leave it on the low voice setting. Everything's at 12 o'clock. This is what it sounds like. And now let's try putting it on the high voice setting. And this makes the effect a little bit more obvious. See how it's coming across a lot clearer? I guess I would say that if you were looking to have the effect as an always-on kind of effect, you'd leave it in the low voice setting, something a little more subtle. And this is less than subtle, depending on what you're trying to do with it. Well, just like last time, let's move the depth control up to 3 o'clock and see what that sounds like. You can get a little bit of the range. Same guitar lick, so we can just have a control. That's pretty out there. It's almost like a stutter step at the same time, isn't it? Alright, let's put that depth down to 9 o'clock and see what that sounds like. That's really nice too, a little fluttering. Now let's do what we did before with the speed setting. We're going to put the depth now back at 12 o'clock. And now the speed is at 3 o'clock. Let's see what that sounds like. Alright, let's try it now at the 9 o'clock setting. What does it sound like on the high voice signal? Depth at 12 o'clock and the speed at 9 o'clock. Now it's got that soft pulsating, it's almost like a pad kind of effect. That's lovely. Now let's see what that would sound like if we brought everything up all the way. It's always fun to do that with these sorts of pedals. How wacky does it go? That's going to drive people crazy in a good way, right? It's just a little silly. Alright, well let's see what that sounds like when you have a little bit of an overdrive. We're going to be using a Boss BD2W. I'll put everything at noon just so we have a control again this and see what this pedal sounds like as it's pushing with an overdrive pushing through it. So again, this is just now the overdrive signal without the chorus pedal. This is now the overdrive signal without the chorus in it. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see what this sounds like with the pedal on now, the chorus pedal. We can think of some very classic tunes with that, right? We could even try something a little bit more classic rock. Or maybe even something a little bluesy. Alright, maybe not that. Let's see what it sounds like on the low pass setting. That's pretty fun. Alright, we've looked at the chorus a bit. How about we look at the vibrato setting? Now, one of the things I like about this vibrato setting is that it's almost haunting if you do it just right. So again, this is our clean signal with nothing on it. Now this is with the vibrato setting on, low voice, everything at 12 o'clock. It's really subtle at this point. Just like last time, let's go ahead and put the depth up to 3 o'clock and see what that does. It's pretty fun, that pulsing. That's always fun. Let's bring the depth down to 9 o'clock and see what comes through. As you can see, as we get lower in the depth on the low setting, it's almost indistinguishable. It's very, very subtle. Let's do that again and adjust the speed. So now we are on the vibrato setting, a low voice with 12 o'clock depth, 3 o'clock speed. Let's see what that sounds like. Alright, let's lower the speed a bit. So now we have 12 o'clock depth, 9 o'clock speed. Let's try it out now with the high voice setting and see what that sounds like. Again, we have 12 o'clock depth, 12 o'clock speed, and let's try this high voice setting. Just like with the chorus setting, when we jump to the high voice, that effect is no longer subtle. It really jumps out. It's something that's really fun. Let's put the depth up at 3 o'clock and see what that sounds like. Sorry, it's really fun. It's almost like a sick individual. But it's really fun if you add a little bit more effects. Let's add a little delay to that and see what happens. I'm using a GHS Lucky Cat delay, by the way. That's just fun. All right, well let's try out this time now. We're going to go bring the depth down to 9 o'clock. So 12 o'clock speed, 9 o'clock depth. You can hear it slowly swirling about. Again, let's add that delay again and see how that comes in with us. Just going to change the pickups a bit. It can become very haunting, and I think that's one of the great benefits or strengths of this particular pedal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the reverb effect and show you one of the things I enjoy doing with this particular pedal. Anyway, that sort of warm, breathy openness, it's almost like a warm vinyl going round and around, pulsating. And that's when I think of the real unique strengths of this pedal, that strong, warm, vibey sound and feel to it. All right, so let's go back a sec to our regular reverb setting. And now let's show this Chrysostom Chorus pedal. It's on the vibe setting, high voice. Now the depth's at 12 o'clock and the speed is at 3. Let's see what that sounds like. Just gets a little silly. Let's tune it back a bit. The speed is at 9 o'clock, and again the depth is at 12. This is what I'm talking about, that warm, really old vinyl-y sound. I mean, you can do a lot of this if you're into ambient stuff, forgive me. And even lead lines can become fun. We'll put that BDW or BD2W again. Anyway guys, that's the Chrysostom Chorus. You can find it at Westminster Effects. I hope you pick some up. It's just a really wonderful pedal that has a lot of uses and applications, whether you're looking for that classic chorus or something a little more experimental or subtle to add some color. Again, this is Angel Valley. Thanks for the time to show this pedal and share it with you. I'm going to end playing with one of my favorite licks.